In today's video, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to get started distributing your software with the Replicated platform. We have one prerequisite, and that is that your application be packaged as a Helm chart. So we're going to use an application called Slacker News. Think of it as Hacker News powered by your Slack, and we're going to take its Helm chart and we're going to release it with Replicated. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an account on the Replicated vendor portal. It's going to send me an activation code. I'll look over on my other desktop here and grab that code from my email. So with that account, I can now create a team. You can see I get invited to join a bunch of teams because a lot of folks at Replicated have created teams. You'll have that same option of inviting people to join your team to collaborate with you on distributing, observing, and supporting your software with Replicated. We even have full RBAC controls so that you can make sure you keep duties separated and people are only doing the things that you want them to do on the portal. And this auto join that gives them that ability to join the team if there's the one team for your email domain. So we've got an account, we've got a team. Now we need to tell the portal about our application. So let's do that. And we're going to be brought into a nice flow that's going to let us start using the browser here to release our application for the first time. Anything that I'm doing here, we can also do at the command line. The command line command you can see is here for creating a release. But let's just pop into my editor and use it this way. I go to my chart YAML, paste in that dependency. What that is we call it the Replicated SDK. It's an in-cluster API for interacting with the platform. Things like licensing, telemetry, looking for updates, all of those things are available based on from endpoints that are running right in cluster. Now that dependency is in my chart, I can repackage it up with new dependencies. And when that's done, we'll head back over to the vendor portal and we'll continue to release our application. I'll choose a file to upload. I've got that file Slacker News right there, that tarball. We upload that chart. Now I have a release on the vendor portal. The release is released to customers on what we call a release channel. So basically that's a mapping of releases to the customers that are entitled to get them. Few standard channels that we give you out of the gate, but you can have as many of those as you want, depending on what your release cycle looks like. So I'm going to promote that. And now, of course, I need to put the customer in here that I'm going to ship this to. So my customer is a company called Epla. They're going to get the GA version from the stable channel. Kathleen at epla.io is my contact there. We do not do anything with this email other than use it as the username to get access to your Helm chart. They have a paid license, it has an expiration date, and we'll save that. Now we're going to get the instructions that we can send over to Kathleen so that she can do the install. She's going to have her own credentials to log into our registry, as well as there's going to be commands to run pre-flight checks and install the application that will probably be part of your docs. We're going to skip over the pre-flight checks today because we haven't added any yet. So let's go over to Kathleen's perspective, and we're going to log into the registry, and then we're going to run an install. Now, your docs will probably talk about any required values that your chart has. In this case, let's assume Kathleen has already put all the required values in a file named install values, and she can run the install. So standard Helm install, just pulling the chart from the Replicated registry, and that is protected by the credentials tied with the Replicated license. I mentioned one of the things that SDK can do is that it can provide telemetry back to Replicated. So let's pop over to the vendor portal and let's see what's going on with Epla and Kathleen. Sure enough, we've had an instance come up in the Replicated vendor portal where we're getting the telemetry from Kathleen's instance. It tells us information about the version, whether it's up to date, where it's running, the type of cluster, the version of the replicated SDK, the version of your application. You can even provide some custom events and metrics here. So, Kathleen's install is going to come up and going to be running and available, and you'll always be able to come back here to see what her experience in Epla is like with your application. And with those few steps, just a hair over 5 minutes, I've been able to distribute my application with the replicated platform.